Georgie, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 14 of Wellmas, your wellbeing advent calendar of tips and techniques to help you through the festive period. I thought I would share with you another type of meditation. We've spoken before about how meditation can sometimes feel quite daunting when you see people just doing that kind of sitting in stillness. Today's video is about using a mala. You may see malas around, people sometimes have them wrapped around their wrists or they have them on their necks, and sometimes they can be misinterpreted as a fashion accessory. I just want to take a moment to talk to you about history, what they are and how you can use them. And you don't actually have to have a full mala, you don't have to go this full hole. How you could use something as simple as a beaded bracelet that you may already own in the same way. Malas were first created probably over 3,000 years ago in India, and they were obviously a yogic and Hindu and Buddhist way of tapping into a way of meditating. So sometimes we can get distracted by the idea of a timer, for example. A lot of us will set a timer because it's a very modern way, but before we had things like timers and electronic devices to kind of monitor how long, or set yourself an idea for how long you would spend meditating. A lot of times people would use a mala. They might count, they would understand, depending on what mantra or breath or whatever, we'll discuss that in just a second, how long it would take to go around the strand, and then they would be able to then use that and maybe say, okay, well, I can go to halfway round, etc., to kind of set yourself a time. They're also a really good way of focusing the mind. So mala means garland, so obviously this is our garland, our strand. A traditional mala, a japa mala, will have 108 beads. So there's 108 beads around here. And then we have our guru bead, which is a larger bead at the base. And quite often they have a tassel as well. And they're all quite symbolic. So 108 is a spiritual number in a similar way that Om is the sound of the universe. 108 is said to be another significant number in terms of the universe. Our guru bead is our main bead, so we use this as the beginning and the end in a traditional practice. And the tassel is said to represent like the various strands of the universe from my reading and what I've researched. I have used malas for many years, and I actually quite enjoy making them, so I might do another video in the future about making your own mala. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. They're quite often called japa malas, and japa is recitation and repeating. So what would traditionally be done is with every bead you would recite a mantra. Now there is a difference between mantra and affirmations. You can use affirmations, but an affirmation is technically different to a mantra. For example, in the Kundalini tradition, we might chant Waheguru, or we might chant Om Mani Padme Hum, we might chant Om Namah Shivaya. There's all different types of mantras, and depending on the intention that you want to place on it, obviously a good indicator of what mantra to use. You don't have to use a mantra, you can use breath, but we'll talk about that in just a second. How do we use our mala? So I said that we repeat a mantra, an affirmation, perhaps just an inhale and an exhale on each bead. So to hold it, we place it over our middle finger. We want to leave our index finger out of it. We place it over our middle finger, and then we use our thumb to press on the bead, and then we will repeat, so Om Namah Shivaya, or inhale, exhale, and we move on to the next bead. It's very similar to a Christian rosary in this way. Om Namah Shivaya, inhale or exhale, move on to the next bead, and we're going to work our way around. And when we've done the 108, then either stop there, or without crossing the guru bead, and it's really important that we don't cross the guru bead, we can just use our fingers and our thumb to flip it over and go back the same way, but we want to just keep going round and round and round in a circle because we don't cross the guru bead. This is 108 beads. You don't have to have 108. If, for example, you don't have a lot of time and you're just getting started, if you've got a beaded bracelet that's maybe got 20, 30, 40 beads on it, that's a really good quick way. Quite often as well, people, as I said, they will set an intention. Om Namah Shivaya is about embracing the change and spiritual change. So if that is what you're wanting, the intention you're wanting to place into your day, like I said, affirmations are also quite useful. So if you have a specific affirmation that you're trying to work with, you can set that intention, repeat it using your bracelet or your mala, and then often people will wear them. When they are infused with that intention, it's a reminder in your day-to-day life of that moment that you have dedicated yourself to that moment. So it could just be that wearing it reminds you to be mindful, that wearing it reminds you and brings you back to your mantra, to your promise to yourself that you've made earlier in the day. So there we are, short and sweet today. Hopefully that's helped, hopefully that's given you some ideas or inspiration, and I will see you tomorrow.